Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Grandpa Mark's Hobbies and the finale of Revell's 69 Camaro Z28 RS kit. This is part of their Motor City Muscle collection that they had going on. And this build is brought to you by MK Modelworks, their 2026 Autism Acceptance group build. This goes from now, well, really, it started April 10th, and it goes all the way until October 10th. So you got more than enough time to jump in here and uh, join in on a good cause. Yeah, I made a placard for it for when I take it to the show. Well, let me get everybody out of the way because there is a boatload to cover in this build. Oh geez, oh Pete, I'm just wow, tearing everybody playing chase today. Um, I gotta say that this is one of the nicer kits that I've worked on. Let me bring it down just a smidge here. I don't want to make it all to where everybody's dizzy today. This went pretty much the way I wanted it to. All the way through, from start to finish, everything that I tried. The only thing that I didn't plan on is I got a little wonk on the hood right here where I'll work that out. But it didn't show up until after I put the air cleaner on. So I got something hidden in there that shouldn't be, and we'll take care of that. But let's talk about the paint first because I'm so jazzed with how what actually was in my brain ended up on the car exactly the way I saw it in my head for a change. I said Kevlar before, but what I was looking for was that Mylar balloon look, and where it's like a color but metallic at the same time, but not showing the metal flakes like in an older car, or like what this silver shows, the little metal flakes. This doesn't really look like that. It looks more like the Mylar balloons do. So it's exactly what I wanted, and it worked. So I'm happy, really happy with the Kaleido paints all around. The whole thing is basically painted in Kaleido paints. The stuff that I airbrushed, the body is completely Kaleido paints, except for the panel liner. And I talked about the panel liner last time. It runs so nice on this clear. So the next thing, I'm happy with the way the trunk cut open for me. It went really well, and everything lined up, and it didn't leave a whole big, huge, like I just hacked it open. It looks just like the panel line, and that's about it. So I'm good with that. The the hood isn't laying 100% flat for me. I'm feeling tightness up at the top here that I didn't have until I put the air cleaner on it. So I'm wondering if I'm tagging something a little bit in there, but it's not enough to where I'm going to go in there and start hacking things apart, because honestly, I want to show this with the hood up. I'm going to display it like that. So I'm not sure if I'm going to um, put a bar in here or if I'm going to take this off and put a little piece of tape right there to give it a little friction to hold that from dropping down when I take it to the show. But right now, I'm going to take it completely off because I want to talk about how awesome this engine is. And I did do the bottom like I said I was going to, and with it up like this, there wasn't a need to really go all out on there, but I did get that foam look in the way I wanted to on the silver bottom. So that worked out good for me. The engine in this thing is awesome. And I'll bring you down here a little bit, and I'll tell you what we did with the engine all the way across, because some of it you can't even see anymore. And we'll start right off the top here with the battery. I did the red and black. I put the red on this side and ran it down the firewall and back and buried it into the Hollywood side. The black I ran down and attached it to the block, so we have a good ground there. Spark plug wires. I talked about the ignition or the coil. on that. It is back where it should be on the engine. I was going to put it on a firewall, but I was afraid that I was going to have contact with this piece right here on the firewall. It would have looked cool, but I was a little too worried about that, so I put it back on the engine and it's run underneath, and it's gone. The fuel lines and everything I showed you in the last update, they went a lot easier than I expected. There's very good detail in this carb, so if you did want to show this, like with the air cleaner off and all that, it would look really, really nice. This build, I wanted to show it with the air cleaner on, like the engine's finished and ready to rock and roll. I just want the hood open so that you can look into it this way. It will be obscured, but it will look really cool. PCV lines are run. They did really well. The master cylinder booster is run down and underneath, and I tied it onto the carb side, on the base of the carb. I know on a lot of pictures it comes over and it ties into the PCV line over here, but it was just easier for me, and this is modified, so I used a little bit of artistic powers there to do that. The brakes got the expansion coils on them. The radiator hoses and everything went down very nice. And I did make the brace for the alternator. And I just made a kind of an arched piece that went from the alternator down to the water pump, just like it would bolt in normally. The washer bottle is sitting on this side. I wish you could see it in person because it looks a heck of a lot better than it does here. It shows that depth, like you're looking through the plastic when I did the whitewash on it. Worked out really well for me. Underneath and in the back, all the wires are run. I ran everything down this side for the front headlights and all that. I even did the gauge lights in here and ran them around. And I debated on running or putting gauge lights on the 4 little gauges in the center console, but it just wasn't, it wouldn't have looked good. There was no way I'd be able to hide those wires. So I left that go, but I'm happy with how that looks. You'll see it in a minute. Let me take the trunk off here. You can see I have a little after shine here in the back. I'm going to bring it out. We're going to pull you forward a little bit, and I'll bring you back in here and show you this trunk a little bit more. I got a little light bleed right here, but honestly, when the trunk is on that, you can't see it. And I'm afraid that if I start messing with it, I'll get something that'll run down in over top of the glass, and it'll just be jerked up. The other problem I had with this is I could not get this bumper to lay in there properly to save my butt. I don't know what I got going on right in here, but I had to bend this bumper out a little bit because it seemed like everything here, it seemed like everything was kind of cattywampus with the side. So I had to actually bend that out a little bit to make it to where it made the fold around on the side. And it is what it is. I'm not going to try to go any more because I will break that thing off trying to get it in there. And I thought I almost did last night. The mirror. You know, everybody struggles with the mirror. That is a cool looking, very well done kit mirror. And it glued right on, no problem. I didn't use a whole heck of a lot of glue, but it glued on there. I didn't pin it or anything, so $10 says I'm going to knock it off, putting it away for the show or something like that. Now let's talk about the interior. You can see I got the gauges lit, and they're just little fuzzy balls. But if you look at them in person, you can read the numbers on those gauges. They're so clear. I love it. The steering wheel, I wanted a chain steering wheel. Buddy Rusty and I talked about it before. I tried to make one, and it just did not work out. So he went above and beyond the call of duty and hooked me up with that. He got it from somebody else and went out of his way to get it to me. So I really appreciate that. Inside, I also have a Hurst shifter just because why not? I mean, you're going with the chain. Let's do the Hurst shifter too. So that looks really cool in there. The whole interior came out very nice for me. So I am happy as heck. I did the wood grain. I did the, I don't know if you can see it, but I did the aluminum on the dash. We did the piping inside. Everything worked out great. I put the top on it and it all disappeared. But I know it's there. If you look close, you hit it with a flashlight, you're going to be able to see it real well. So I am okay with all that. Let's dry out some more here, and I'm going to flip this thing over. And I'm going to just lay it on its top because I'm not worried about scratching this clear coat. It's not going to. The underside is as plain can be. The only thing I added was the ladder bars on here, or the traction bars. Everything else is stock, out the box, just painted and done. I did Kaleidos matte black on here, no primer. I didn't use primer on anything on this one. But Kaleidos matte black, I came over top of that with Fusion Firm. No, I didn't use Fusion Firm. I came over the top of this with the Quick Shine and did all the main bars with the Quick Shine, and then got everything to lay right. I added a little bit of shackles to the back to raise the wheels up because these are a little bit fatter. They're not the box stock wheels. They're a little bit fatter and a little bit taller, and they make this thing stand real pretty. You'll see that in the music video at the end. Gel pen for the fuel lines and the brake lines. They're raised up enough to where it was very easy. Sometimes those are in there and they're just so thin that you can't make them look right. So usually when that happens is I'll just run over top of them with my solder. Didn't have to do that with this. The engine dropped in here nice. It fit perfectly. The exhaust laid in nice. It fit well. Even where I did the shackles on the back, it fit well. And then it was just basic detail painting. It's never going to be shown upside down. I'm not going to put this on a mirror. I just want this to be a nice show car where you take it to the show, you set it up, and everybody looks at it. So I didn't go crazy with the underside either. The wiring went great. Like I said, I ran everything down the sidewall here, brought it up and around. I think I might have run the orange lights in the front on this side. I can't remember. But no matter what, it looks great. And I know you're saying, well, show me the dang lights already. So let me put this front on because I want the hood on there when you see it. And check that out. Now, again, thanks to Rusty, I spent more money than I wanted to spend. But you see the orange on those fog lights there, or signal lights. That is 100% UV resin. I tinted the UV resin, and I put the box away. I honestly did. I had the box out yesterday and put it away. But he did a video on that UV resin tint, and it's very thin, like alcohol almost thin, more than water. I put 4 drops of my UV resin, and you know what? I'm going to pause you. I'm going to pull this stuff out. Okay, I found it, and it's just called Let's Resin. There's 16 different colors on here. I'll use maybe 4 or 5 of them at the most for normal stuff, turn signals. The yellow I was thinking for this would be awesome for like MPC's headlights. But this is the orange. And that's all it is. You have to put a little hole in there when you get it. So don't do it anywhere around anything this might get on, because I don't think it'd ever come off of the paint. But I put maybe 3 or 4 drops of this in the UV resin. mixed it up very well, put it in the lights, hit it with the light, and it was done. And you would never know that that is not the light lenses that came with the car. You never know it. I mean, even with them off, they look good. So that's those. What I did not do is I didn't put a resistor in these. A lot of times, if I'm using the lights or the lenses that come with it, I will put a resistor in. But I thought with the UV resin and the way everything else is, that it didn't need it, and I'm glad I didn't because it's still brighter than it should be, but it really looks awesome. So there's the front, the trunk, the tail lights came out way cool. I wanted to show each bulb instead of just kind of hiding it and having a blast of light or having one side be brighter than the other or whatever. So with these, all I did was in the little chrome base in the back, I drilled them out with a pin vise, smaller, well, the same size as the LED on all four of them. And then what I did, because look at how cool that is. I mean, that came out great. And if you can see inside here is the three LEDs go across here. And what I did is I took and laid that thing flat on the table. I took one of the LEDs and I put it to where it was flat, flat in the hole, because they're not round like a regular LED. They're actually flat, and they come up the wire this way. So like this would be the LED pointing this way on the wire, not straight out. So I took that flat piece and I put it in the hole, put the UV resin in there, held it in place just behind it so it was laying flat in the hole, hit it with the light for 1 minute, and that was done, and did the next one, and did the next one. And honestly, the whole back, drilling it out and all that, probably only took me maybe, I don't know, 45 minutes at the most. Really, it went a lot faster than I thought it was going to. So, hey, what the heck? And you don't know till you try, right? So I gave it a shot, and it worked. I did a lot of that on this. I gave it a shot, and it worked. So I really want to thank MK Modelworks for pushing me a little bit. There's some things in here, the decals. Those are handmade decals. I printed them off. I got them offline. I printed them on clear decal paper. Sized them in Publisher, not Photoshop. I did everything I needed to do in Photoshop, transferred that over to Publisher, and then used that to size. And I found out that Publisher is not going to be around very much longer, so I'm going to have to figure it out. But they worked out great. They went on great. I top coated them so they wouldn't run with Kaleido Clear, and it worked out perfect for me. Again, I used to go and use the Tester's Decal Clear. Didn't have any. Wasn't sure if that was going to work with the clear coat, with the Tamiya's clear coat, or Tamiya, with the Kaleido Clear Coat. So I thought, let's give it a shot and see if the Kaleido Clear will work, and it did. So everything was the same, the top coat, everything. And I've had so many problems where I've used, Tamiya's this, Tester's that, 2K this, and everything, and all of a sudden it just bubbles or just cracks or does something bad. Now that I have all these paints, I'm using the same paint across the board. I don't have to worry about is it compatible or what's it going to do in a week or two. So there is that. Again, I want to thank MK Modelwork for throwing this. I learned a lot about autism as I was going to, and I appreciate that. I appreciate everything he is doing for our community. look him up on both YouTube and Facebook. MK Modelworks, great guy, good builder, man. He's got some talent, but I love his videos, just the way he puts them on. But with that, I'm going to jump in here right now and thank Gallery for everything that they've done for us. If you're going to get anything from Gallery, use Grandpa Mark. You'll get 10% off, even on sale prices, for your entire order. I want to remind everybody we got our 24-hour group build coming up. That'll be October 17th of 2026, 24 hours straight. If we can hit $2,000 in donations from both donations and through the store, where you can get these mugs. They are so cool. They hold a large Keurig K-Cup. No problem. I just finished that off in here. But if you guys can do that and I can get the $2,000, I'm going to shave my head just like I did last year. Eyebrows, mustache, beard, everything. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do half of it and then go through and do the rest of the night. And then the end of the day, I'm going to do the other half. So I'll do, if we can get $2,000, I'm going to build for 12 hours with just half my hair. Let's thank our active duty members, our veterans, and our first responders for putting it out there every single day. I salute each and every one of you, and thank you very much. With that, though, I want to start the music video and tell everybody thank you very much for watching. Y'all have a great day and a better tomorrow.